John and Andy Taylor from Duran. That's very modest of you, applauding your own video, Andy.
Applauding that.
Oh, actually, applauding the band. The tour that you're on at the moment reaches Birmingham this evening. You've already done Edinburgh, Manchester, Leeds. How's it going for you?
Great. Yeah, it's been the most successful British tour we've ever done, I think. The audience has been fantastic, and we haven't had much go wrong. It's been great.
Yeah, we've had nothing go wrong, in fact, yeah.
Do you get this kind of screaming reaction in every city that you go to?
Sort of, yeah.
It's sort of like a nervous disease. It follows us around everywhere.
It's like having the radio on after a while, that, and, you know, you get used to it.
But I mean, it must make very great inroads into your personal life. You know, if you're sleeping at night, you get people knocking in your hotel room doors and things.
You wake up in a cold sweat and, John!
You know, we've had it, but we've sort of been able to eliminate that. But sometimes you get a sort of 100-strong choir who will sing every song that you've ever written at 7 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes that's a little bit, you know, what's going on?
Well, when you say you've eliminated that, does that mean that you now have bodyguards around you or what? How do you eliminate it?
Well, we sort of make contingency plans and stay in hotels as far away as possible from the concert, which like means that you're playing Edinburgh and staying in Glasgow, which is a bit of a pain.
It's really important to get sleep, somebody told me once, you know. I don't mind it during the day, but it's nice to get a sort of few hours kick without getting
If you have all these people around you telling you how wonderful you are and that you're the best looking people since Rudy Valentino or something, do you actually start to believe it at the end of the day?
No,
Do you find
it's all makeup, and we had our faces changed before we started anyway, so we were really ugly at them.
Yeah, there is a time.
But I think I've got a spot here.
Ooh, you're not going to squeeze it, are you?
No, I did yesterday.
You did it yesterday. I like it.
Well, as I was coming on TV today, I thought I'm going to get rid of this one.
But do you find it, John, difficult to handle the ego aspect? Do you find yourself getting carried away?
Well, I think it feels like one... Well, hey, what do you mean?
Hey, man, this is a star.
Hey, that's enough. That's enough.
I'm kneeling your feet later.
I think if it was just one of us, if it was like Adam Anthony or Martin Fry or something, it might be difficult. But because there's 5 of us, and we're all as arrogant as each other, so nobody can get away with anything, you know. And if anybody starts to get a bit big-headed, then they have another 4 of them kicking in.
You see, I think it was you, John, came out and said that in your proposed tour of America next year, they'll not know what's hit them because they won't have seen anything like it since the Beatles, I think was what you said.
Well,
do you consider...
Well, the news of the world said that, I didn't say that.
You were certainly quoted as saying that. Do you put yourself on that kind of level?
No, you can't. I mean, no one's ever going to be as famous as the Beatles. I mean, goodness me, they were the landmark in popular music. But the Beatles and the Stones and the Who, the bigger bands of the 60s, are very good self-references. You know, they did very well, and there's a lot of groups who really don't quite match that type of success now. So we look at those groups for what they did then, but for influence, not just musical influence, but other influences.
But of course, even for the Beatles, the screaming stopped eventually. What sort of plans are you making for when that happens?
Well, we'll not grow any moustaches or anything.
Well, I mean, are you investing wisely, for instance? I know that you, for instance, Andy, you've bought a restaurant, haven't you?
Yeah.
What kind of restaurant is it?
It's a wine bar, actually.
Oh, is it?
It's a restaurant upstairs as well. It's just a little bar, you know. A friend of mine suggested it to me earlier this year, and I thought, well, why not have your own bar? You know, you go in and do what you want.
Nobody can chuck him out now. He gets out of order.
And it's all my family are up there, so it's sort of nice, you know, in my hometown.
This is Whitley Bay.
Whitley Bay. Whitley Bay.
What about you, John? What are you doing?
He buys cars.
Oh, no. I mean, I don't really invest in anything, just late nights or something. And that's where all my money goes. No, I don't really. I can't think too much about things like investments. I just have to speak to people who know about these things.
Tell me about your Aston Martin.
No, I don't. Go on. I don't really like it. I mean, I just say to somebody, well, okay, do something really. I don't really like to think about it too much. As long as I can afford, you know, to do what I want to do, I'm quite happy, really.
Getting back to the music for a moment, obviously, well, why not? Let's try, shall we? The music of Duran Duran is obviously very commercial, but you've actually taken a couple of risks and been a little adventurous on this latest LP, for which critics have actually praised you. But in terms of record sales, the album has actually dropped back to number 5 last week.
Well, we've had the problem before. We have the following go out, you know, buy all, and then obviously that's the first week, and so it doesn't give a record time for other people who perhaps aren't fanatical about the band to listen to it.
I think we still have this problem that we have to try and convince people that we do actually play on their records or make good records,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Somebody-
People still think we're totally sort of devoid of anything.
Yeah, in a bar in Sydney, a guy, some drunken Australian came up to our manager and said, "Hey mate, go on, tell us who really plays on the record." And our manager was like, "Eh?" This is just sort of 2 months ago.
So people assume that you're sort of 1983's version of the Bay City Rollers?
I hope not.
Well, I mean, the people who are asking
Well,
questions.
no, I
like
mean, that must be really narrow-minded of them because, I mean, we're not. Our music has a lot more depth and integrity, I think, you know, than...
What?
Integrity.
I-N-T...
We'll give you a dictionary later.
Oh,
but
right.
Actually, on the subject of the Rollers, a lot of them have been coming out recently and publishing revelations about what they were up to when they were in the band and things. Are we likely to get that in the
Oh,
future?
yeah.
How I take
Oh,
drugs?
yeah,
We're working
everything.
on it now.
Yeah.
Well, how do you handle the kind of, you know, the press trying to get into your personal
Well,
life and trying to find out what you're doing?
Well, luckily we were never sort of, I mean, I think the biggest problem that a lot of people have is when the press set them up and then knock them down. We never had, you know, the press never set us up. We've never been liked by the media over here. So we never got used to being liked. So now they call us for whatever, and it doesn't bother us.
It doesn't really matter because you can say one thing and it doesn't really matter what you say because they'll twist it, contort it and print it to the way that they're going to sell their dirty, smutty newspaper. So really it's irrelevant.
In fact, I read today that you're going to shoot people, aren't
Yeah,
you?
yeah, it says...
The newspaper came out and said you'd shoot anybody who intruded in your coffee.
Yeah, I'm a real big, bad mean, you know. I
12-4 Taylor, they call it.
Yeah. I think it was something, I moved to the country and the lady who was doing the interview said, well, is that, you know, you could get burglars or something. I said, well, I've got a burglar alarm. She said, well, what would you do if somebody intruded? I said, well, whatever means necessary to protect myself, which anybody would, you know, a man's home is his castle. Next thing you know, it's something like out of Mad Max, they're going to go around.
That's right. Well, obviously, we don't believe it. Thank you very much indeed, and good luck with the concerts tonight in Birmingham. Ladies and gentlemen, from Duran Duran, will you thank Andy and John?
Thank you.